Hey there, fellow vegetable nerds. It's Kelly, you knew that. Thanks for hanging out with me in my kitchen today. I have a special kind of unboxing. It's a little bit different, but it was by request, and I'm excited to show it to you. So let's start Meetin' Veg.
Hey, turn up the caramello and shizzle on the shizney. It's time for me to what? Let me introduce myself. I'm Gino Burrito. My pants are made of leather. I find it hard to concentrate.
So here's the deal. I am going to be doing a really exciting medieval cooking class. I am super excited for it. I think I might have mentioned it in another video, depending on what order these go in. So I'm just gonna have to keep repeating this information because I don't know what order I'm gonna release these videos in. But I'm gonna be doing a medieval cooking class, and it's gonna have some live cook-along kind of stuff. I'm really excited for it. I had seen it online and I was like, I can't afford this. It's a great opportunity, but I don't have this money to spend right now. And then out of the blue, a friend of mine gifted me an enrollment to the class, it was so unexpected and so generous, and I'm so super excited about it, you know? The one thing about it though is they sent me this food list, because you're gonna be cooking along with them, and there's this expectation that you're gonna be making all these recipes, and they sent me a list of ingredients that I had to amass, and oh, she big. It's a big list. It's not just a big list, it's a weird list. Like, there's some normal stuff on there, but there's also stuff that would be unusual to anybody, because they're sort of medieval ingredients. But also there's some stuff that probably you can get just about anywhere if you're in England, but I am not. So that's gonna be challenging. As of the day that I am recording this, I'm gonna be starting this class in a couple of days, and the first day is lamb. I don't know anywhere to get just a lamb roast. I know where to get lamb chops, which is another thing I have to find. But a lamb roast? That's not the weirdest thing on the list. As far as meat goes, like, you know, the fish requirements, like, you're supposed to have whitebait, which is like little baby fish. And I've heard of this before, but not in a grocery store in the United States, you know, and you can use any small fish. So they're like, oh, like sprats. And I'm like, yeah, that's not a thing here. And they're like, okay, well, what about herring? And I'm like, well, if you want a herring, you're gonna get herring in like a jar and it's all like pickled and stuff, and that's not what we want. And they listed a bunch more things, and I'm like, no, not here. So I have to figure that out. I'm gonna get some other kind of little baby fish. So one of the first things I had to do was start amassing spices. Spices are one of the easier things to do. Now, some of these spices are a little out of the ordinary, so I had to source them from many places. So the first place that I sourced things from, I do like to try to go to Penzeys before anywhere else. I really like this company. I like everything they're about. I love their products, and there's one really close to me. So instead of having to wait for it to be mailed, I can just go pick it up. They do contact-free, you know, curbside pickup. They're not allowing people in the store right now, which I think is rad. So I wasn't able to find everything there, but I was able to get a few things. There's one thing I know about Penzeys, and that's that they've always got some kind of really good deal going on. And if they don't, you just wait, and then they will, which is exactly what happened. So I filled my cart up with stuff, and I was like, well, I could put this order through, or I could wait and see what happens. And they had a deal, and I was like, that's a good deal. It was like every 5th item is free. I was like, that's a good deal. I'm gonna wait. Because I know that Penzeys sometimes has just like really screaming deals. And my waiting paid off. I got an email, and they said, here's what we got for you. The Soul 2020 box, which is normally like almost $40, $5. None of this was stuff I needed for this class. But if you think I'm not taking that deal, you are incorrect. So you got cinnamon, you've got spice mix called Justice, you've got Pico Fruta, 33rd and Galena. These are, you know, some really cool spice blends. You've got Penzeys Revolution, you've got Tuscan Sunset, Greek Seasoning, and then Penzeys Salsa and Pico. And then it comes with a little pin, which is kind of neat. It also comes with, I mean, they load you down with stuff. It comes with a bunch of recipes, which is great because if you're using a spice mix you've never had before and you're like, oh, I don't know what to do with it, they're like, how about some ideas? So they give you some recipes. Tasty tips for justice. Use justice wherever you use salt and season liberally. Really great on all vegetables. Hey, that's handy. Toss a pound of asparagus or green beans with a tablespoon of olive oil and 1 to 2 teaspoons of justice. Roast at 375 for 10 to 15 minutes, shaking a few times until crisp, tender, and golden. Or just shake on simple steamed or boiled broccoli after cooking. And it's got a few other tips on there. So that's great. I really love things like that. And then it's also got some stickers about voting and some other stickers about voting, which is really cool. And even Penzeys goes the extra mile, even to the point where on the back here, they give you a little note and they say, this bumper sticker will not damage your paint. When you want to take it off, it will come off easily and will not leave any residue. They are a very thoughtful company. The deal that they had was that set, like I said, almost $40 normally, was $5. There was a limit on 2, so you can get 2 for $10. Now here's the other part of the deal. If you spend $10, you get the little guy for free. $10 gets you, and this is almost $20 if you were to just buy this full price. So you spend $10 and you get, what is it, almost 40, 80, $100 worth of stuff. $10. That's nuts. It's not anything I need for my class, but like, I'm not saying no to this. So we got cinnamon, we got the Penzeys salsa and pico, we got the 33rd and Galena in there, and a little pin. I have so many Penzeys pins. I don't know what I'm going to do with all these pins. I feel like I should give them back. Speaking of like that weird guilt feeling, I posted about this deal on my Facebook because I was like, everybody has to know about this. I got to tell all my friends. And all my friends rushed out to buy all of this stuff. And we all kind of were like, is this okay? Am I taking advantage? Should I put some of this back? Like, we were all talking about it. Like, I kind of feel like at any moment I'm gonna get an email and they're gonna be like, oh, we messed up. It wasn't supposed to be like that. And we'd just be like, yeah, I figured, it's cool. Just charge me more. I knew I was getting away with something. It's fair. But no, this is just the kind of deals that they have. So the stuff that I did get, I needed some mustard seeds and I wasn't sure which ones to get, so I got both. I got brown and yellow. I normally like to keep both of them on hand anyway, and I just happened to be out of them. When I went to make those zucchini pickles the other day, I looked all over my kitchen for mustard seeds and I could not believe I didn't have any. It was the weirdest moment. I've got so many spices in this kitchen and I couldn't put my hands on mustard seed, which is such a common spice, and I was just like, ugh. So got some of that. I got some Madagascar cloves. There we go. And I had some ground clove, but my purchasing list specifically said whole clove, and there's never a downside to having whole clove. These really come in handy. I got some ground sumac. I don't think that was on the list. I think it was just out. And I like to make sure that I always have some sumac. It's really nice on salads, especially like a nice, like a romaine salad with some onion and a lot of parsley and like a lemon and olive oil dressing. Throw some sumac on there. It's so good. It's nice and like, it's got like a citrusy kind of flavor. Got some French tarragon. I don't think that was for the class either. It's just another thing I don't like to run out of. A lot of people don't use tarragon very much. I didn't for the longest time. I didn't know what to do with tarragon. I keep seeing that it goes well with eggs, but like, I can't imagine putting tarragon in my eggs. And I know, I guess in some applications it can go well with fish. Like if you've ever been to Sweet Tomatoes, which considering everything going on, I don't think we'll be going to Sweet Tomatoes anymore. If there is a Sweet Tomatoes to go to, it was a real bummer. But they used to have tuna tarragon pasta salad, and that stuff was like dynamite. What I use this for is salad dressing when I make a steak salad. I make a steak salad that is the best steak salad you have ever had. Maybe the second best, because I absolutely copied it from somebody else. So there's a restaurant, I hope it's still there. There's a restaurant in downtown Portland called the Virginia Cafe. It's like a little bar and grill kind of thing. And I used to go there all the time. We used to have meetings there and stuff, and we would be in there a couple times a week, just constantly. And they have a steak salad that's just like dynamite. And I tried and I tried and I tried to recreate this salad. One day my mom was in from out of town and I was like, let me take you to lunch. We'll go to the Virginia Cafe. We'll get this steak salad. You got to try this. And I was like, man, I keep trying to make this. I don't know what I'm missing. I don't know what that flavor is that I can't figure out what I'm not getting right. And she was like, nah, that's tarragon. That's tarragon. And she was right. And once I had that missing key ingredient, everything fell into place. And now I make a steak salad that's every bit as good as theirs. It is delicious. Maybe I'll make a video about it. I don't know. I feel like a steak salad doesn't quite meet the criteria for a vegetable channel. There's definitely vegetables in it. I don't know. You let me know. This was for the class. So I got some blade mace. I had some ground mace. Now I've got the whole thing because that's what they specified. They were like, you need some blade mace. In case you're wondering what mace is, if you've ever had whole nutmeg, which is another thing that I had to buy, mace is like an outer covering. So when you get a whole nutmeg, it's got this, like, it's really hard to describe. It's just like encased in this stuff. And when you rip that off, that stuff is mace. So it's like 2 spices in one. I have purchased it before where it was together and, you know, you had both things. But it's kind of a pain in the butt to take this off. So I don't mind buying it separately. That's fine. Mace has a really interesting, very spicy kind of, it's along the lines of things like clove and allspice. It's in that same kind of family. It's got that same kind of, same kind of flavor profile. I haven't actually smelled mace in a long time. It also smells a bit like nutmeg. Like my first impression when I smell it is it's like if you had eggnog with a little bit of black pepper on it. Yeah. I think that's the closest I'm gonna get to it. It's like a cross between that real nutmeggy eggnog kind of flavor, but there's a little bit of like a black pepper kind of smell in there. I'm not gonna take a piece of that and eat it. I love you, but not that much. Then I also got some bay leaves. This is another thing that I had to get for the class, but also I was just out of it. So, you know, that worked out in my favor. Now, what's really cool is because I ordered so much stuff, they gave me a free thing of garlic. Thank you. I didn't even know that promotion was going on. And they were like, hey, you want a free garlic? You're entitled to a free garlic. And I'm like, yeah. Of course I do. Yeah. So they threw that in there. And then what happens is when you do the local pickup, when you have a Penzeys store near you, is they give you like a 15-minute time slot. And you arrange with them, you make an appointment for your 15-minute time slot. You show up at the place and they have a bag sitting out on a little table for you, and you come up and you don't interact with anybody, and you just grab your little bag and be on your way. So I grabbed my bag and I got all my goodies in there and I'm looking through it and they gave me a free mug. Like, I'm feeling spoiled right now. Like, I feel like I have to apologize to somebody for some reason. This is so much. And I was like, is this a mistake? Is this, should I call them and just be like, I think you might have just dropped your mug, but no, it's got a receipt for $0. It's an $8 mug, and then there's a coupon code, and it's got my name on it. This is for me. So, thank you, Penzeys. It's really nice of you. Just a note, they're not sponsoring this video. I would love to be sponsored by Penzeys, let me tell you. I would be so happy. I don't think they sponsor anybody. I don't think they really need to. They're pretty popular, but I'm just a big fan. I'm a really big fan. So, if you haven't subscribed to their emails, I really suggest that you do, or you follow them on Facebook, because this deal is probably going to be expired by the time you see this video, but they're going to have more deals in the future. And if you're not on their mailing list, you might not see them, because not all of them are advertised to the public. Some of them are only advertised to the people on their mailing list. So I suggest that. Thanks very much for watching me go through all my spices. I have been requested to do a video of all of my spices, and I'm totally up for doing that. I just don't know how. because there's a lot. Like, I have a lot of spices. And I know that I've had more than one person be like, oh yeah, I want to see what kind of spices you have in your spice rack. And I'm like, well, I mean, I don't just have one spice rack. I have, like, they're everywhere. And there's a lot. And I can either just read off a list of names of what is there, which is kind of boring, or I can go into some detail in it, which then also gets boring when you're at like the 4-hour mark and you're discussing every single spice at length. So I gotta find some kind of way around that. I will work on it. I promise. I will figure something out for you because I love you. Thank you for hanging out. Please remember to like and subscribe. Show this video to people if you feel like doing that. And I will continue to let you know how things go in the whole process of getting prepared for this class. And I will try and keep you all updated about the progress of this class, which I'm so hella excited for. I can't even begin to tell you how excited I am for this class. I will see you next Thursday. Remember, I put out a video every single Thursday, sometimes more than that, but always at least that. So until next week, bye.
Hey, turn up the caramel and shizzle on the shizney. It's time for me to what? Let me introduce myself. I'm Gino Burrito. My pants are made of leather. I find it hard to concentrate.